Alrighty, continuing on, we're going to look at 11 through whatever I can get through in this time period. The ratio tables at the right show comparison of books to games for sale. This is a good one. I like how they set it up already, so you can see clearly that this is Bert's store and Gloria's store. And then they give us the ratio of books and games and books and games. You really can't compare them until you have equal amounts. So the first thing they say to do is complete the ratio table. So I'm not really sure what they want me to do there. Which store has the greater ratio of books to games? So books to games. This is what we're comparing. So this, when we compare something, we expect different amounts. This, we want the same amount, which will tell us which one has more books. So we want the same amount of games. So I'm looking at 6 and 8 strategically and saying, well, how do I get an equal number here? Now the book will tell you to kind of skip count up. So we could do times 2 and get 12, and times 2 and get 16, and times 3 and get 18, and times 3 and get 24. I know that 24 is going to end up being what we use, but we'll keep going. And times 4 is 24. So once we see an equal amount here, we can stop. Some of you are going to be good enough to go, oh, I know what to do. I know that 6 times 4 is 24 and 8 times 4. It's like finding a common denominator in a lot of ways. If you didn't see 24, you absolutely might have seen 48, which is 6 times 8. So let's fill in our numerators here. So here we multiplied by 2, here we multiplied by 2, here we multiplied by 3, here we multiplied by 3. Here we multiply by 4, here we multiply by 4. Here we multiplied by 8, here we multiply by 8. Same thing, times 2, times 2, times 3, times 3, times 6, times 6. And just for fun, I'm going to do 300, 480s. I don't like to leave any of these blank. Sometimes I feel uncomfortable if one's blank. So we're going to come back and we're going to look at where we had equal games. I'm going to circle those nice and dark. Okay. So when we have equal games, this store, Bert's store, has more books. Bert's. When equal games, 24, there are more books. And I could say 16 is greater than 15. And over here is really my explanation beyond that, but this sentence is kind of important. Okay. The ratio of soy sauce to lime juice. Oh, yum. And a homemade salad dressing is 7 to 6, and they've already filled that in for me, and this one's 11 to 9. Homemade versus store-bought. I see all the labels. Which one has the greater ratio of soy sauce to lime juice? So this is what we want different. So we're comparing those. And this is what we want the same. That's really important to look for. So we want the same lime juice. So I'm looking at 6 and 9. Now I can do this in one step. I know that 6 times 3 is 18. And 9 times 2 is 18. So I could say, okay, times 2 and get 14. Wait a second, that's not times 2, that's times 3. Silly. Times 3. 6 times 3 is 18, 21. And then times 2 and times 2. And then I could circle these and say, these are the ones that I'm going to compare. Here's equal lime juice, and the store-bought has more. When equal lime juice, which I'm going to put in parentheses, is 18. 22 is greater than 21. So the store-bought, it has more soy sauce. Now, if you didn't see 18, you could have said times 9, which would be 54, and times 9, which would be 63. And here you could do 54 as well, which is times 6 and times 6. And that again demonstrate that the store-bought salad dressing has more soy sauce to lime juice. Okay, let's keep going. One bouquet of flowers. Okay. Okay, roses and carnations, carnations and daisies. Ooh, another bouquet. Okay, if both bouquets have 20 carnations, they're telling me to put a 20 in here. Oh, carnations are down here and carnations are up here. That's kind of tricky that they switch its location. I would prefer to rewrite it so it's all the same. Which one has more flowers? This is the idea of total, which is interesting, and that's not really shown here. So I might want to add that in here and say 3 plus 5 is 8, 4 plus 5 is 9. Now we're multiplying here by 4, so 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 plus 20 is 32, which is also 8 times 4. Over here we're multiplying by 5, 25, 45, which is 9 times 5, or 20 plus 25. So here I'm going to circle it. I like to circle the one that I'm comparing. That helps me to really visually see it. So which one has more flowers? Well, this second one here has more flowers. So the carnations and daisies. Oops, that needs an S. Because when each have 20 carnations, 45 total is greater than, they don't give you a lot of space here, 32 total. And my justification for that is down here in my tables. I don't really need more. I could skip count to get there, but I can do it in one step because you guys are good at ratio tables. Last one that I'll do, well, maybe I'll get these in. Lauren can drive her car 320 miles on 10 gallons of gas. So this is Lauren. I'm going to fill that in as we go. So it's 320 miles on 10 gallons of gasoline. And Melissa can drive 280 miles. I'm checking to make sure they're not changing its location on 8 gallons of gas. Who can drive further on 40 gallons of gas? So we're looking to get oh, this isn't too bad. Well, here we're clearly multiplying by 4. And here we're multiplying by 4. Oh my goodness, I'm going to get my calculator out. I need more coffee before I do that. 320 times 4 is 1,280 miles. And here we're multiplying by 5. 280, oops, times 5, 1,400. So quite clearly here, Melissa can drive further. So I got to answer the question. Melissa drives further. And justify my solution when both use 40 gallons. Lauren drives 1,280 miles and Melissa drives 1,400 miles. 1,400 is greater than 1,280. Great. I think I have time for this one. Let's do it. White socks, blue socks, white socks, blue socks. Fran has 9 pairs of white socks for every 3 pairs of blue socks. Maya buys 2 pairs of blue. Ooh, they switched up the order. For 4 pairs of white. Make sure you get the 4 next to the white and 2 next to the blue. If the girls each bought 6 pairs of blue socks, so here's blue and I want 6 here, here's blue and I want 6 there, how many pairs of white socks would each have bought? So this isn't even asking me to compare it. They're just asking me to tell them how many white socks each one buys. So this is clearly times 2, and this is clearly times 3. So Fran buys 18 pairs of white socks. 9 to 3 times 2 is 18 to 6. And Mia buys 12 pairs of white socks. 4 to 2 times 3/3 is 12 to 6. And that is a wrap.